Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of the Points of Articulation. I'm your host Dave, and if you're new to the channel, welcome everybody. Today I'm looking at the Takara Tomy Star Wars Y-Wing Starfighter, released in May of 2015. This vessel was first seen in Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope. By now, everybody should know the Star Wars core ships on my channel, but for those who don't know, this is the Y-Wing Starfighter, used by the Rebel Alliance during the Galactic Civil War, and it was used mostly for recon and bombing missions. You know, time and time again, I find myself always going to this particular ship in different video games and so on and so forth. It is one of my favorite designs in all of Star Wars, and I remember growing up playing on the N64, Rogue Squadron, and then, of course, its sequels on GameCube. But the Y-Wing was always an amazing vessel. I loved the shields and the firepower. A great ship. Moving on, all the way to 2020, Star Wars Squadrons, the video game, just came out, and I do find myself always being the Y-Wing. Is it the fastest ship in the fleet? Absolutely not. But it's a powerhouse. I love it. Now this ship is a Takara Tomy piece, as I mentioned before, and it is a fan donation by Overlord9, so thank you, man. So before we get started, let's take a quick look at the box. Looking at the box here, we can see the front, we have some copyright stuff such as Disney, Star Wars, Takara Tomy, Y-Wing Starfighter, and it's number 5 in the series. At the top of the box, we have a nice top view of the Y-Wing, with, if you look closely, thrust nozzles molded in, which is good. On the bottom of the box, we have the bottom of the vessel, with some wheels, real interesting. On the side, we have a nice write-up, and look at the pictures of the studio models. Very nice touch. On the other side, we have another shot of the Y-Wing, looking pretty good. And on the back, which is my favorite piece, we have all the copyright stuff, and pricing, and what it's made out of, and all that jazz. Can't read it, but I love the boxes to these. I think they're amazing. So pretty rad box, right? So getting back to this miniature, it measures in just under 3 inches long, and it has about, I would say, 1.5 inches to its width. So it's a very nice miniature. So for those who are new to the channel, what I like to do is go over the mold, pick out the key points to talk about, look at a nice close-up view to see what we're actually buying, check out the paint, put it on a stand, compare it to some other pieces, and then we'll be done. So let's get started. Alright, let's get this video started looking at the mold. Now, just like all my videos, I'll go over all the major sections of the item, and then we'll get a nice close-up look to see those fine details. So let's get started. In the back, we have our steering vanes, which aren't molded, but they are painted black to simulate the what should be negative space right here, but nicely done. Moving back, we have our ion jet engines right here, which is pretty sick. And what's really neat is they molded the thrust nozzles on here. And that's on the tops as well as the bottoms, which is pretty sick. I think that came out good. Moving forward, we have our sensor domes in the front, which are very smooth, pretty nice. Right here, we have our main body. Now back here should be shield generators, hyperdrive, life support, all that jazz is back here. Looking good. In the aft section, we should have our thrusters, which nothing's really detailed right here in the aft. But, you know, they do have a little bit of detailing back there. So that's pretty cool. Moving forward, we have our astromech droid right here, a nice silver dome, looking sharp. And then we have the front of our vessel, with a beautiful canopy, recessed windows, ion cannon turret, and 2 laser cannons. Looking very nice, and I love the detail in here. We'll have a nice look in about a couple seconds here, but pretty cool. On the bottom, we have 4 rivets holding it together, peg port for the stand, copyright crap, made in Vietnam, and then we have wheels down here, which is pretty interesting. And now right here should be torpedo launchers and a bomb and chute. So that's pretty awesome. Nothing's really molded in here, but they did put the wheel where the bomb and chute should be. So that's pretty interesting. Nice touch there. All in all, a fantastic looking ship. So now let's get a closer look. Alright, having a closer look, we'll begin with the bottom of the ship and work our way to the top. We can see the front here is nicely done. We have our rivet, our wheel. Pretty nice, but I love the line work here. Yes, there is a seam line, but you're going to get them with die-cast machines like this. So pretty interesting. Moving down, we have our beautiful mold, copyright crap, peg port for the stand. I love all the little doodads in here and modules. Great stuff. We have another rivet there. Looking good. If I turn it to the side, you can see how big those modules actually are. Nothing is flat on here, and I love that. Very nice. Excellent stuff. Coming to the back. Like I mentioned before, there's really nothing there. It looks like the paint covers up some of the mold. But pretty cool. On the sides of the pylons, nothing's really there either. That goes for the fronts as well. It's sort of flat. What are you going to do? On the sides, we have some nice molding coming down here. Looking good. Didn't need to do all that, but I appreciate it. Looks sick. For the top of the vessel, this is where all the meat and potatoes is. You can see some beautiful molding here. Some great stuff. Tons of little pipes, little recesses on each side. Modules. This looks great. I really love this. You know, the Y-Wing has always been one of my favorites because of this section back here. All the little hoses and pipes. Very industrial looking, and I dig it. It's just a beautiful design. I think it looks great. Coming down, we have our astromech droid. A little messy with the paint there, but not bad at all. A couple pipes going down. Very nice. And then we have the front of the vessel. You can see the beautiful line work going down the sides here, which looks great. The recessed windows, check that out. That is awesome. You know, looking at this from a distance, you don't even notice. You just think, oh, they're black. But they're recessed in. And that's a very nice surprise. We have our turret, which looks great. You can see the molding on there. Fantastic. Look at that. This is some great stuff here. Can't believe I never really bought any of these. These are sick. Love the side details. My God. Some great stuff here. And then in the front, we have our laser cannons. All in all, a fantastic looking piece so far. Now, you know what? The camera was shaking a bunch. I was getting really excited. My hands were shaking and everything like that. But, you know, I want to talk about these engine sections because I think they look amazing. Now, check this out. We have some nice molding on the sides here, which looks amazing. Some nice stuff. And on the sides, it's kind of blah. But underneath, we have our wheel. And then coming up to the sensor dome here, we can see some beautiful molding here. And then it's very smooth. Look at that. Very nicely done. Some great stuff. And it's basically the same on this side. Again, beautifully done. I love all the detail on here. You know, it's getting rare anymore where I get super excited about a ship. And I'm really digging this. Especially because of this. Here we have a molded piece for the ion jet engine thrust nozzle. And they didn't need to do that, but on the bottom and top it's molded in. We have a little flash there, but on this side you can see it. It looks great. They didn't need to do that, but I really appreciate it. I think the last time I really got super excited about a molding piece would probably be an Armada vessel, which we haven't got one of them in a long time. But here we have a couple rivets on the bottom. Made in Vietnam. You can see how it's super recessed in there, which is pretty cool. Then our sides are basically flat. They are recessed in a little bit. You can see that slight lean in there, but it's not much to write home about. On the top, you can see how deep that is. Awesome. Same goes for this side. Very nice. I think this came out great. Again, you can see that slight lean on the top. It doesn't really recess in, but the two sides sort of bend in like a book. Very interesting stuff. And then finally on the back, there's no mold in here, it's smooth, it's just paint. But a nice little end cap for the engine section. Beautifully done. Great ship. I really mean it. A fantastic piece. And that does it for the mold. Hopefully I covered everything. This is a great miniature. Sure, it has wheels on the bottom, but there's a lot of good things going for it, and I really appreciate what Takara Tomy did here. Very nice. Geez, it got me so excited that my hand was shaking. So, it's the little things in life, right, everybody? So anyway, let's move on and take a look at the paint. And now looking at that paint on the Takara Tomy Star Wars Y-Wing, this baby features 7 different colors. First up is a nice gray. It's on the engines, the main body. Looking very good. You can even see where they painted the thrust nozzles there. Pretty sick. Nicely done, and even on the sides. Pretty cool. Moving on from there, we do have a off-white for the sensor domes. Coming down these struts on the steering vanes. Looking pretty good and very neat. And on the bottom, looking very sharp. And for the front of the ship, we can see how nice it is. Pretty cool. And then it comes up to the top. Very nice. A little heavy right back here, but not bad at all. And you can see where they tried to match the ion turret to the die-cast piece right here. And it's a little off, but in person, it looks pretty good. All in all, some great color choices so far. Moving on from there, we do have black for the negative space right here, which they filled in black, which is pretty cool. We have it on the interior of the engines as well, and the aft section, which is flat and painted. Pretty nice. Moving on from there, we do have blue and yellow, and we can see that mixed right in back of the sensor domes. Beautifully done striping on there. Pretty cool. And then we have some nice designs on the canopy and front. Beautifully done. You can see the nice blue stripe there. Nothing on the bottom for the most part. Another stripe. And then that beautiful canopy. And speaking of the canopy, we have glossy black for the windows, which is very nice, very beautiful. You can see how it reflects the light. Just nicely done. I think that looks awesome. And finally, we have silver for the astromech dome. A little heavy there as it's going on the gray part, but not bad. I love the paint on here. I think they did an amazing job. So that does it for the paint as well as the mold. So now let's put this baby back on the stand, compare it to some other pieces, and then we'll be done. Now, when it comes to the stand of the Y-Wing here, it does not have any. On the bottom, we have a peg port for one, but I see what they were going for. We have the 3 wheels on the bottom, and it does roll quite well. It's like you took a Star Wars vessel and mixed it with a Hot Wheels car. So really neat. But what's cool is if you have an extra stand lying around, it will fit in that peg port, and it looks great. Just stick it in like so, and you're good to go. And now for a quick size comparison with the Takara Tomy Y-Wing, I have some other Takara Tomy ships here. First, on the right-hand side, we have the Resistance A-Wing, and finally, on the left-hand side, we have the First Order TIE Fighter. Some great-looking ships here. And for an added bonus size comparison with the Takara Tomy Y-Wing seen in the center, first, on the right-hand side, we have the Star Wars Titanium version, which is a very nice ship. And then on the left-hand side, we have the Hot Wheels Star Wars Y-Wing. Now, you may be asking, which do I prefer? Obviously, I'm going to say the Titanium series or the Takara Tomy. The Hot Wheels has the bigger size, it's got nice detailing, but it lacks in paint. You can see it right in front of you, it's kind of bleh. Nothing against Hot Wheels at all, because I actually do enjoy that mold and the cool astromech head in the back, but it just doesn't have the oomph that the others do. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Also, if you're interested in seeing reviews of any of these vessels, check the links in the description below. And that does it today for my review of the Takara Tomy Star Wars Y-Wing Starfighter, released in 2015. Hands down, this has got to be one of the best miniatures of the Y-Wing I have seen in a long time. Sure, you could go out and buy expensive models and whatnot, but for a miniature collector like myself, this is not bad at all. For the mold, it's excellent. Now, sure, the wheels on the bottom might be an issue for some collectors, especially adults, but I don't mind it. I really don't. Look at the mold on top of here. We have line work, little recesses, pipes, modules, all that stuff, and it looks screen accurate. It looks pretty damn good, and I love the molding on the ion cannon turret on the top. It isn't just a piece of rectangular plastic that's slapped on it and, look, it's an ion cannon. No. We looked at it close up, and you can see there's actually curves to the barrel. It looks great. And I love the fact that they molded in the thrust nozzles for the ion jet engines. I think that's a huge piece right there. Very nice. I am really happy with this ship. So much so that my hand was shaking at one point in the review, which has never really happened to me. I don't know. Kind of weird. Maybe I'm dying. What are you going to do? But anyway, moving on to the paint. It is very nice. Sure, some people could say it could be better. Yeah, hit it with a couple different washes, liven it up, make it different. Sure, why not? But on the whole, right out of the box, I think it's very nice. I do like that sky blue paint on there with the yellow and off-white and gray. I think they go really well together. And I do have to say this, the recessed, glossy black painted canopy windows, beautiful. Now for the stand, there is none. However, it does have a peg port on the bottom to support one. So if you have an extra laying around, there you go. So that's everything I have to say about this interesting vessel today. I really hope you guys enjoyed the review. If you did, smash that like button. And if you'd like to see new videos every Thursday, subscribe. Again, thank you all so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to watch my content. I really do appreciate it more than you guys could even imagine. And I hope to see you next time for another ship review. Bye, everybody.